Following the Euros 2020 final, England players Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Bukayo Saka faced a torrent of racist abuse online, which prompted GB News host Guto Harri to take the knee on the show. He explained he finally understood why players made the gesture at the start of each game. However, he faced enormous backlash from GB News viewers and was ultimately suspended for breaching editorial standards. Harri said at the time, "I can see, and I tended to be one of those people that thought, do we have to do this at every football match? Can't we just enjoy whatever sport we're into?" But having seen over the past few days just how close to the surface, just how deep-rooted, just how hideously ugly racism among some England fans is, I totally get why this squad throughout thought we have to say, day in, day out, that racism is not on. Harri then got down on one knee to show how important the gesture was. He was swiftly suspended from broadcasting on GB News and has since reflected on the actions taken against him. Speaking on Stories of Our Times, Harri said, "By Thursday night, there was a text to call the chief exec. I knew that when I was asked to call him it was likely to be a conversation about the tsunami of hate and the reaction. I thought, well, let's take charge of this conversation and make it as pleasant and easy as possible. So I said right at the outset, look, I don't want you to feel bad. I want to make this easy for you. If you need to fire me for upsetting the audience, then absolutely. Totally get it, I understand. It caused you a nightmare, it wasn't the plan, and if you have to fire me, then no hard feelings, we can still be friends." Harri went on to explain chief executives said they weren't going to fire him but were thinking about him taking a break for the summer. The word suspension was not sort of used, but doesn't take you long to realize that's what it implies, he continued. A little part of me thinking, well, I can join my family in Italy or whatever, and part of me thinking, well, it sounds like I will get paid anyway, but there was no hiding the fact that it was a suspension. The repair shop guest in tears as Nan's Antique is restored. Emmerdale tragedy as Gabby Thomas loses baby and Jamie leaves. The Yorkshire vet's Peter Wright despairs as Countryside defaced. I thought, well, okay, no harm in that, and I'll sleep on it. I can always ask to be fired tomorrow or to resign or whatever. I'll just sleep on it, but we left it like that. However, Harri was contacted 20 minutes later with messages of support and apologizing for his suspension. He told the podcast, "I just text chief execs and said, is there a statement? They said, oh, there's one on Twitter, just a minimal thing, but we're not doing anymore. Then when I saw the statement, that's when I changed until then my very relaxed attitude. They simply said that I had been taken off air for breaching editorial standards. Now, as somebody who's spent decades in broadcasting and 18 years full-time at the BBC under immense scrutiny, I think I know the editorial rulebook that applies in most newsrooms pretty much inside out," he continued. Trending. So the idea that I was being taken off air for breaching editorial standards was not on, and I tried to get it corrected straight away. I tried ringing and I text and I was ignored. It's a bizarre state of affairs, far from combating cancel culture. What they've ended up doing is replicating it on the right and creating something sad. They've chosen their path. They came to a fork in the road very early on, and they chose to go down, I think, a dark, narrow alley that leads nowhere. GB News put out a statement regarding Harris' suspension, explaining for them, it was unacceptable for any presenter to take the knee, a symbol associated with the widely known Black Lives Matter movement, and said Harri had broken the channel's editorial code. GB News is available to stream on YouTube, or you can watch on channels 236 on Freeview, 515 on Sky and 626 on Virgin Media.